A very warm welcome to Newsfeed on this 23rd day of October 2022. You're just in time for the lunchtime news, and we have so much lined up for you on our bulletin this afternoon. Remember, you can always interact with us on our social media platforms indicated at the bottom of your screen. Now, with that said, my name is Dennis Otieno. I trust you're doing well. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, on to our top story this afternoon. President Ruto and Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua are currently attending a church service at AIC Kitui Township. The president is accompanied by Kitui Governor Julius Malombe, Machakos Governor Wavinya Ndeti, UDA Chair Johnson Muthama, Kitui East Member of Parliament Nimrod Mbai, among other leaders from the region. Now let's cross over to Kitui and have a listen to the current proceedings.
Walikuwa wanatuambia ati hawawezi kufanya usalama kwa sababu budget yao iko kwa ofisi nyingine, lazima waende wazungumze na watu fulani, lazima wafurahishe watu fulani ndio wapatiwe pesa ya kufanya kazi yao. Nimesema budget ya polisi ipelekwe kwa IG ya polisi. Yeye apange mambo na wale commanders wake, na mimi nataka niulize yule county commander wetu wa hapa Eastern region. Mambo hiyo nimesikia ya watu kuhangaika hapa. My friend, hamuna sababu. Mimi nimewapatia pesa zenu. Nataka hiyo kazi mufanye. County commissioner, regional commissioner, musingoje waziri. Hiyo ni kazi inatoshana na nyinyi. Na hiyo kazi nataka najua mutaiweza. So tunataka usalama pale, na mimi nataka nimshukuru governor kwa kuvolunteer kuweka pesa ya kujenga stations, na mimi nataka nikuhakikishie governor, ukijenga stations nitaweka askari na tutahakikisha kwamba tuko na watu wa kutosha. It's going to be a joint program because we want to secure every part of the Republic of Kenya. Na tumesema ya kwamba wafanyikazi wetu wote wa serikali, na mimi nawashukuru wafanyikazi wa serikali kwa sababu ya kujitolea na kufanya kazi hata ingawaje saa zingine hamuna vifaa ya kutosha. So many public servants work very hard and I want to congratulate them. Na tumesema ya kwamba hatutaki tena wafanyikazi wa serikali wafanye kazi ya siasa. Kazi ya siasa ni sisi wanasiasa na wale watu wetu. Kila mtu wako na watu yake. Sindio? Kila mtu wako na watu yake ya siasa. Si wamesamamishwa hapa wakasemekana kuna watu ya UDA hapa. Sindio? Sio ndio watu yangu ya kuendesha siasa. Malombe yako na wake ya kuendesha siasa. Mwingine yako na yake ya kuendesha siasa. Tutawachanganya huko mbele watu saidie kuendesha siasa. Lakini wafanyikazi wa serikali wafanye kazi ya serikali. Ile maneno ya chief sijui nani kufanyishwa kazi ya siasa, hiyo tumesema ikome na isikue tena katika taifa letu la Kenya. We want public servants to serve the people of Kenya equally, with irrespective of what political affiliation they belong to. Ni mnanielewa? Mwananchi yako huru kuchagua anataka kuenda chama gani. Lakini wafanyikazi wa serikali wamfanyie kazi mwananchi bila ya kujali huyu ni wa chama hii, huyu ni wa chama ile, huyu ni chama ingine. Wewe fanya kazi ya serikali kulingana na ile sheria na kulingana na code of service ya public service, ili tuwe na taifa ambayo kila Mkenya anaheshimiwa. That's what we want to do.
Is President Ruto, who is addressing the congregation at the AIC Kitui Township Church, and of course talking to some of the county commissioners, urging them to build more police stations in order to improve the state of security in Kitui County. It is a developing story that our reporters are on ground and following up on. They will be bringing us up to speed in our subsequent bulletins. But moving on, Wiper Party National Treasurer Gideon Mulyungi has dismissed the statement by Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei, who alluded that Kalonzo Musyoka's Mashujaa Day attendance is a sign of pledging loyalty to President William Ruto. According to Gideon Mulyungi, Kalonzo is not seeking any position in the Kenya Kwanza government and that he is contented in the opposition where they will as Azimio keep the government on check. Take a look.
My name is Gideon Mulyungi, MP Mwingi Central and the National Treasurer of Wiper Democratic Movement Party. I want to respond to the tweet by Senator Cherargei on Kalonzo. And I want to tell Senator Cherargei categorically that Kalonzo did not attend Mashujaa Day celebrations to pledge loyalty to President Ruto or anybody. He attended the celebrations in his own capacity as a Kenyan patriot and hero. Mashujaa Day celebrations is a national holiday event, and it is not anger, and it is anchored in our Constitution 2010. It is not a Ruto or a Kenya Kwanza event. Kalonzo does not need any appointment from Ruto and has not asked for any. He will continue to play his role in the opposition to keep Ruto's administration on its toes. Senator Cherargei and President William Ruto, play your role and we play ours.
Meanwhile, a group of activists known as Rotary have asked Bungoma County Governor Ken Lusaka to move with speed and build a favorable and affordable toilets and latrines within the Bungoma CBD as a way of preventing outbreaks of diseases such as cholera and typhoid. Speaking at Muhaweli Primary School after inviting a similar project, the activists urged that residents of Bungoma should not lack any social facilities since the county has abundant resources and the Kenya Kwanza government had earlier promised to work with the county government in order to deliver its manifesto of delivering clean water, among other promises in the county.
Kuja mkono wengine pia sugua kwenye makucha.
Mazingira masafi pale kwa wanafunzi ni kitu cha msingi. Kwa maana ukiwa na mazingira masafi watoto watakuwa healthier, kwa maana magonjwa ya kuambukizi yatapungua. Kwa hivyo wito wangu kwa county ya Bungoma ni kwamba huu mwenendo wa kusato inatakiwa usambazwe kwa shule zote katika Bungoma ili kwamba wale wanafunzi wawe wanajua usafi kutokea vioni hadi usafi wakienda kula, na tutakuwa na wanafunzi wazuri. Kwa hivyo vioni vingi, shule ni nyingi. Vile vile tunataka mradi huu usambazwe katika mahospitali, kwa maana baadhi ya hospitali ukienda huko choo zao ziko kwa hali mbaya sana. Kwa hivyo hii ni kitu ambayo inatakiwa roll out kwa county mzima, na alafu umma pia ifanya nini? Ifaidike.
Now, from Bungoma County to Kiambu County, where members of Limuru Dairy Farmers Cooperative Society have called on Kiambu Governor Kimani Wamatangi to help them revive the packaging plant of homogenized milk that requires 30 million shillings. Speaking during the launch of the yogurt processing plant worthy of 10 million shillings for value addition, Cooperative Chairman Njuguna Chege said the plant should be revitalized to supply the market with fresh milk and other milk products, while lauding the government for interventions to increase their produce. Now, the chair also announced that all members of the cooperative will receive a shilling per litre of milk as bonus since the price has risen from 36 to 44 shillings per litre.
At 3 today. Initially, tulipoanza huu mtambo Limuru Dairy Farmers, when it started, tulikuwa na 150 liters per day, but today we produce over 26,000 liters per day. With the incoming of the yogurt plant, matarajio yetu yatakuwa mazuri kwa sababu we'll be able to do value addition.
Sisi tuko na matumaini sana ya kuongeza maziwa. tunataka kuongeza maziwa, ati hakuna maziwa itatoka nje. Ni sisi tutakuwa tuafidi hapa na tutatuma nje.
Elsewhere, residents in Jiru who are affected by demolitions have come back to repossess their land. The residents were countered with arrows and machetes that left 3 people with serious injuries in a confrontation that saw them being rushed to the Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital. Police from different divisions visited the scene after the combat between the 2 groups and cleared the scene. The residents now claim that there are cartels deployed to guard the land after they were illegally and forcefully evicted. They said owners have raised complaints that they lost their property worth millions and now want the newly elected government to look into the case and serve them justice.
Tumekuja kuangalia shamba zetu na saa hii kuambiwa tutoke hapa hatuwezi toka, lakini naomba Mwenyezi Mungu aliye juu mbinguni na mwenye alichagua William Samoei Ruto,
naomba haki ututetee. Tumelia kwa sababu tulibomolewa, tulikuwa tumelala, tulipatwa. Kama mimi nilikuwa na mtoto mdogo. Mama Rachel, wewe ndio mtetezi wetu. Haki tunaomba ututetee na turudi kwa shamba yetu kama wamama. Wewe ni mama na uko na watoto kama sisi. Hebu oneni vile tunapata shida. Sasa hizi nimeenda kusaidiwa mahali pa kukaa na nilikuwa na nyumba yangu. Haki tunaomba Mama Rachel na mama wa Vice President. Haki tunaomba mtusaidie. Tunaomba mtusaidie.
Huu ndio wakati wako wa kututetea. Na kama uwezi kututetea wakati kama huu, sisi hatuna shida na wewe. Sisi hatuna shida na wewe na hatutakutukana, maana sisi ni Wakristo. Hatuna nafasi ya kukutukana. Lakini ujue tulikuchagua kwa sababu ya hii kazi. Masai wanatoka mbali huko wanakuja kupiga watu mshale hapa.
May their plight fall on listening ears and may they get a solution to that situation as soon as possible. But moving on, days after the country celebrated the Mashujaa Day, business people and well-wishers from Kiambu County have put a smile to the less privileged children from the Gatundu Children's Home by donating foodstuffs and other basic commodities. Led by Libera Empire Chairman Peter Kiige, the groups urged Kenyans to volunteer and skip at least a meal a day and buy foodstuffs and clothing to the needy as a symbol of humanity and kindness to the less privileged in the society, especially those children who were left orphans. Gatundu Children's Home matron Joyce Wanjiku said the skyrocketing of children without parents is the result of domestic violence in the society.
Ambaye wako in children home na kuwasaidia na chakula bali. Ingine ya maana sana ni kushikilia hii watoto wasome through donation ya education fund ile tuko nayo, ambaye tumedonate each and every month 30,000 ya kumake sure kuna watoto wawili ambaye wanasoma mpaka university bila matatizo yoyote. Ingine ya maana sana ni kukuja kuona mashida wale watoto wako nayo, ndio tuweze kuongeza our team Libera Fraternity in transport industry ya corporate social responsibility kurudisha mkono kwa society.
Tumefurahia sana kupata mgeni, siku hizi ni gumu. Wametuletea chakula, wametuahidi kutulipia watoto shule. Ile tumefurahia juu sasa ukikosa basari unajua mtoto atakaa nyumbani. Tumefurahia sana. Tena wametuahidi kuwa wanatusaidia, watakuwa wakitusaidia kuletewa mizigo yetu kwa gari zao. Tena hata tukienda shughuli za watoto watakuwa wanatusaidia. Tumefurahia sana.
Now, the National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, Nyanza branch, has called for the denial of state jobs to cabinet secretaries' nominees facing court cases, especially the ones related to corruption. Addressing the press in Kisumu, Bishop David Kodia noted that although the president has the right to work with whoever he prefers, he should not appoint corrupt officials and should be on the forefront in fighting corruption. The clergy have also raised concern over the recent withdrawal of cases by the Office of the Directorate of Public Prosecutions, saying the actions erodes the confidence of Kenyans to independent institutions.
The president has the right to appoint someone he can work with. But the third one is simple. He has to be sensitive to all Kenyans. The president is not going to pay these people from his pocket. these people are going to be paid by the public fund. And to that effect, the issue of integrity comes first before everything else. Kenyans are shocked at the speed with which the ODPP has of late been withdrawing cases associated with people who are well connected. We as a church, we support the state and we pray for even for the president. In our prayers, we pray for unity, for political unity, for everything else. But that does not mean to say we can stop others from going to visit the president. They have their own rights.
Meanwhile, civil society organizations want the county government of Elgeyo Marakwet to put in place mechanisms that will help in the protection and conservation of the Cherangani forest, which serves as a major water tower in the entire county. According to Bathsheba Ratemo, who is an officer at the Participatory Ecological Land Use Management Pillar, Cherangani Forest at the moment has been deforested by residents in that area.
In the past 2 years, we've had quite a number of pandemics really affecting the farmers. We've had people generally, we have had the corona, we have had conflict, impacts of climate change, vulnerabilities and people, and inequalities for different people. And so today is just revitalizing that conversation among our stakeholders.
We know there is a change of climate change which has affected many farmers. So you can see there is drought. So we want to get rid of that by planting a lot of trees so that rain can fall down every now and then. Farmers can grow some indigenous foods.
Our call to action for the county of Elgeyo Marakwet is to embrace agroforestry and sustainable agriculture to ensure that budget allocations are there for the people of Elgeyo Marakwet to produce organic food or sustainable food.
Hii Cherangani Hills, hii forest ndio inaserve Kenya ama dunia mzima kwa sababu ya maji, pia msitu, kwa sababu hii msitu ikiisha hatutakuwa na maji ama mvua. Kwa hivyo serikali wakitusaidia na mche ya miti za kienyeji itaweza kutusaidia sana, aswa kwa upande wa kuchunga msitu. Pia itatusaidia kwa maji kwa sababu mto zinaendelea kuisha maji.
Now, following persistent water shortage in Lower Eastern, leaders from the region have proposed the incorporation of technology to solve the problem. Speaking during the launch of a modern learning hub at Wamunyo's Kenya Connect Learning and Resource Center in Machakos County, Mwala Member of Parliament Vincent Musyoka said technology should be used to pump water from rivers to water tanks in people's homesteads, saving residents from having to trek long distances to get water. The newly launched Education Hub will serve more than 18,000 learners and members of the public to improve learning in rural areas.
Is that we have been solving the wrong problem, because we have understood the problem of water as that of availability of water, when the actual problem is actually distribution of the water. Because we walk around the constituency, there is lots of dams and rivers, there's a lot of water, but the problem is getting that water from where it is to where it is needed. And then I asked myself, then why don't I use technology to assist?
The best thing about technology is when it brings people together. And we know that many more partners will come to support this EdTech Hub so that we can educate and reach out to future generations.
Sparking a child's curiosity and sparking them to learn, there's nothing better in this world than that, as far as I know.
Now, from the central region of the country to the northern region of the country, where the Maendeleo ya Wanawake chairperson Rahab Mwikali has applauded President Ruto's directive of every Kenyan planting 100 trees each as part of the climate change mitigation agenda that targets 5 billion new trees. Speaking in Turkana County during the burial of Jennifer Tioko, the Maendeleo ya Wanawake chair in the county, Mwikali urged residents to plant drought-resistant trees that thrive in hot conditions as a tool of fighting climate change.
Excellency Dr. William Ruto akasema kila mtu atapanda miti 300. Sasa tunangoja Your Excellency serikali ikae chini, ministers wakae chini, msichana wa environment rafiki yetu, tuanze kupanda miti.
Elsewhere, education stakeholders in Makueni County have called for hastened interventions from both the government and non-government organizations to supply food and other basic amenities to learners in the primary and secondary schools in the area, saying that learners are no longer attending school due to the pangs of hunger and drought continues ravaging different parts of the country.
Lakini vile hii ni shule ya umma, tuko na matatizo kama yale mashule mengine, hawajaleta chakula kama vile tuliahidiana na wazazi wale wengine. Watoto wakija shuleni lazima wakule chakula wote. Kwa hivyo hiyo inatulazimu tuwekee watoto chakula kidogo ambacho hawezi shiba.
Kama nyinyi iko notoni na watu muletie chakula, nisaidie wale watoto, mzee ina uwezo na ina nini.
Serikali kama inaweza kutusaidia kwa upande wa njaa, tuko na njaa na sana hata kama hatutapata kwa maboma, shule yetu ipate chakula, tupate kusaidika watoto wetu wawe na chakula.
Kulingana na vile tumechukua statistics tukienda kwa mashule kama nyumba 10, sana hii shule ambayo iko karibu inaitwa Kekunduku, kuna watoto zaidi wa 80 ambao bado hawaendi shule, na tukichunguza ni njaa.
Business in Mombasa County is booming as shoppers flock the markets in preparation to celebrate Diwali. Diwali is a Hindu religious festival of lights and is one of the most important festivals within Hinduism. A spot check within Mombasa town centre indicated open markets and fireworks shops registering many shoppers. The Interior Ministry, however, says Monday will not be a public holiday, amid speculation online that the government could declare the day a holiday to celebrate Diwali. Over 250 tea farmers under the Kangita Tea Factory in Kirinyaga County have received dairy goats in diversification program meant to boost farmers' earnings and avoid over-reliance on tea proceeds. The program has seen farmers cluster in 10 groups of 25 farmers who have been trained in tea and dairy farming, where each farmer has received a goat, while each group has benefited from a he-goat. KTDA Chairman David Ichoho said that the organization has realized the need to encourage farmers to engage in other income-generating activities on their farms to supplement income from tea.
KTDA, one of the things that we are doing is transforming the lives of our farmers, and one of the things that we are doing is diversification. And one of the things that we've done is looking at dairy. We've looked at beekeeping, poultry. These are some of the areas that already we've started working on in other counties as well. And we will be able to work with the rest of the 17 tea growing zones on the same diversification strategies. This is now putting more money into the pockets of our farmers.
Now to a sad story where a desperate mother is seeking assistance to bring her ailing daughter home for treatment after her employer allegedly poisoned her in Saudi Arabia. Zipporah Gesare Mose has been reported to be sick and currently at a rescue center in the foreign country where she worked as a domestic worker. Zipporah's mother says that her daughter has worked for 1 year in Saudi Arabia. Kemuma Sheila, who was with Zipporah at the rescue center but managed to be repatriated home, says Zipporah's employer had differed with her and he poisoned her, prompting her to flee to the rescue center, which is not well equipped to administer treatment to her.
Tulikutana na Zipporah kwa deportation center. Ni mgonjwa, alipewa sumu na bosi wake mwezi wa 4, hajaipata matibabu hadi leo tu, amelala tu hapo deportation center. So tulikuwa tunaomba kama mnaweza msaidia arudi akuje kutibiwa.
Alienda Saudi Arabia, alienda kunitafutia anijengee nyumba, lakini akifika Saudi Arabia anakuwa mgonjwa, sijui watu hao walimwekea sumu. Sasa yeye ni mgonjwa ya ajabu. Inasihi serikali mnisaidie mtoto wangu atoke kwa Saudi Arabia. Mimi hasina kitu, hata bwana yangu hakuna watoto. Wanakunywa bomba, hao hajui kitu wanafanya. Naomba serikali mnisaidie kwa kupenda kwenu.
The uncertainties that continue to grapple the domestic workers in Saudi Arabia continues to grow, but both the Kenyan government as well as the Saudi Arabian government are in talks to ensure that a solution to that situation is found as soon as possible. Now it is time to shift focus to the world of sports, where NCPB ladies handball team completed a scintillating 51-9 drubbing of NCC in the Kenya Handball Federation League at the Nyayo National Stadium. Sarah Mabonga was in fine form as she scored a game-high 14 points for NCPB in the victory, while Caroline Chebet, Lilian Waweru, Nancy Nyanchama and Diana Kinyi tallied 9 points for NCC in the losing effort. Meanwhile, Nairobi Water defeated Rising Star 58-10 as Brenda Rinzinza and Marina Adana combined for 14 points for Nairobi Water in the victory, while Ulinzi Sharks thrashed Amazon 42-9. The games are expected to continue later on today as clubs look to amass points and improve their position on the league standings.
It was like a build-up game to me, so I have lost, but I am happy. At least my players have displayed the skills that I impacted last week, and their coordination also is perfect.
Game haijakuwa ngumu, tulikuwa tumechukua kwa light. Tunaitumia kwa kama build up matches kwa ile game tunacheza hizo zingine. So hii kwa tulikuwa tunajaribu zile vitu train kidogo ya kujipima.
From handball to Matters Golf, where John Lerema of the Kenya Railways Golf Club and Isaac Makoha of Vet Lab Sports Club tied at the first position, while Golf Park's Sami Mulama came in third in the third round of the Kenya Amateur Stroke Play Championship at the Vipingo Ridge Golf Resort in Kilifi. Makoha, the 2022 Deaflympics bronze medalist, remained at the top of the leaderboard after garnering a gross score of 227, while Lerima leaped from the 6th position to the 1st position with only 1 point ahead of third-placed Mulama. The 47 out of 76 players who made the cut after the second round of the tournament proceeded to the third and final round, which continues today, as the winner gets an automatic entry to the 2023 Magical Kenya Open golf competition that will be played in March.
Managed with the first 9 managed with 1 under, then turning on hole number 10 a bogey, but all along I managed just to get past. I wouldn't say it's easy, but still a lot have to be done.
It's hard. The rounds are hard. It's been quite difficult with the wind. Yeah, trying to keep the ball low and the wind carries it away. It's a bit hard. He's not used to that. The greens are also quite fast and good, but he's enjoying it.
Vipingo is doing a good job. Wind is good, a factor, probably going back.
But when it's behind you, again, you get good. So I expect good results from the players. Thank you.
And on that sporty note, we get to collect a wrap on news this afternoon. Remember, on other news in sports, Manchester United played to a 1-1 stalemate with Chelsea, Liverpool falling to a 1-0 defeat at the hands of Nottingham Forest. Also later on tonight, we will be having the